2, 1.
Yes, thanks for staying with us. Time to turn our attention to gymnastics now. Two up-and-coming little superstars of gymnastics here in South Australia. I'm joined by Gracie Popplestone and Gabby Pryder. How are you, girls?
Good, thank you.
I can't believe one of them's got the same surname as me.
And that they've got potential to be a superstar in athletics.
Almost a contradiction. Grace is my daughter, obviously, and Gabby Pryder are two really great gymnasts who obviously have got goals to represent Australia on the world stage. And the girls, I think, most people wouldn't realise the sort of work that goes in, and I'll ask Gabby, what sort of work would you put in total hours and the sort of things you do in a normal week?
Well, we do about 30 hours a week. On Monday we do 7 till 10.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday, same thing.
Yes.
And Friday as well. And then in the afternoon we do 3:15 till 6:45, so it's a pretty long week.
Yeah, and weekends as well. What are the sort of things, Grace, you do in that time frame?
Well, in the mornings we normally do strength preparation, so power leg strength and arm strength. We also do quite a lot of tramp work to prepare our skills for floor.
Yep.
And we do bars as well. Sometimes we do loops, which is like a training aid for the wooden bar.
Yes.
So yeah, that's pretty much what we do in the mornings. In the afternoon, it's more routines if it's leading up to competition. If not, it's more skills, skill development. So yeah, all our four main apparatuses: vault, bars, beam and floor.
So Gabby, most people see gymnastics as strength or balance.
Yeah.
Which one do you think you're better at the moment?
I think I'm better at strength.
What about you, Gracie?
Yeah, I think I'm better at strength, I think.
Do you ever get on the rings?
Oh no, so the girls' apparatus are vault, bars, beam and floor, and the men's are the rings, parallel bars, the high bar, middle bar, the pommel, the floor and vault. So they have 6 apparatus and we have 4.
But messing around, I know you're not supposed to, but do you ever think we'll have a go on the rings?
Yeah, sometimes when coach isn't here we have a little sneaky play on the rings, but yeah.
They're pretty strict down there too, you know. Obviously, they're, you know, this discipline is minute in its separation between first, second, third, and so on. So there's so much attention to detail. It is crazy town. It really is. But for the girls, they're dedicated, and it takes a lot of preparation, a lot of work, and there's not much time really, girls, is there, outside of gymnastics? But what would you? I know what you do, Grace, but for you, Gabby, you've got interests outside of gymnastics.
Yeah.
What sort of things you do?
I like to go to the beach because my dad likes surfing and I do that too.
Does he take you down there and make you get in the cold water for recovery?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
It's not too bad. It helps muscles and everything afterwards.
Have you had any injuries yet?
Yeah. Recently I had a heel injury and that, like, I've only just got back from that, and yeah.
What about you, Gracie?
Well, 2 years ago now I had a major injury with my arm and I had to have surgery. I've got 2 metal rods in there now, but I'm fully recovered now. So yeah, that's...
It was scary times though for a dad, because you listen to this, I get the call saying Grace has hurt her arm, we think it's broken. I think, okay, well, it might be okay, it might be a bruise. I have a look and it's in a really weird shape, like, you know, it's definitely broken.
It's really broken, yeah.
And I look at Grace and I'm just about to tear up and she looks at me and she goes, I'm sorry, Dad.
Did you really say that, Gracie?
Yeah. I said it's okay. But, you know, to come back, it's a testament to both of these girls, because we do highlight AFL and, you know, national soccer players and basketball players, and rightly so. But the amount of work that young kids put in, like all people do when they're playing the sport of their dream, is quite extraordinary, and you know how it works. Yeah.
What about travel, Gracie? Where have you travelled to so far with your gymnastics?
Well, recently I went to an AIS camp over in Canberra, and over there I think it's really good experience, and to see the talent across Australia, girls my age or a bit older and younger, and just to see the coaches, how they teach their gymnasts as well.
Do you like the coaches over there?
Yeah, they're really good. They're fun, but they're fair. You got to get through your program. It's a really good experience.
The basketball hall where I used to coach there is connected to the gymnastics.
Oh, really?
There's a big tunnel where you go through, because when it's too cold in the winter, they don't want the athletes to go out. So when we finished training, we used to come in and watch the gymnasts. Then when they finished, we used to go in the foam pit with the big foam cubes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought that was my best gymnastic, falling into the pit. So what about you, Gab? Have you travelled?
Yeah, a couple of years back we went to Sydney and that was for national championships. And then following year we went to Melbourne, and I've actually lived in Melbourne for 2 years for gym, and yeah, we moved especially.
Okay, so you're both under 13 now. Let me ask you this question, Gab. How far do you want to go with your gymnastics?
Yeah, I want to get all the way. I want to go to the Olympics and
Go to the
everywhere.
Olympics?
Yeah.
What
So the
about
first one, 2020, really is the only, it would be the first one they qualify for because there's a minimum age now, is that right?
Yeah, you have to be 16, I think, to compete at the Olympics.
So they're both 13
you?
now.
Oh, so you can't qualify for Rio. Rio 421 days ago
Wow.
did the opening ceremony at Rio, so you'll be a bit too young for that.
Yeah.
So they've got their sights set 2020, I think Tokyo, so
Yeah.
that would be ideal.
Yeah, even
if you-
that will be on that maybe like 2024.
Oh,
Yeah.
2024. All right, if you were going to go, if you're going to go to the Olympics, what events do you want to be in?
Well, normally I would like to be in every event, but I think my strongest at the moment is probably floor. So yeah, I'd love the opportunity to compete in that.
What about you? Yeah.
Well, I've done quite well on vault in the past, so that's probably my strongest.
And I think there's been a couple of standout performers in female gymnastics in recent years as well, which has provided some hope that, you know, there is the facility for our athletes to make it all the way.
Have you got a favourite gymnast?
I reckon at the moment my favourite's Simone Biles.
Yeah, she won 4 gold medals, didn't she, at the
Yeah.
last World Championship? What about you?
Yeah, I like all the young gymnasts up and coming. They inspire me to, and they look up to me.
Let me
yeah.
ask you, do you know who Nadia Comaneci is?
Yeah.
Okay, what did she do?
She got tens, all tens at
All
the
10s at the Olympic
Yeah,
Games.
yeah.
You know what Olympics they were?
1974.
Pretty close, 1976, before
Well
you were
done.
even
Yeah.
born. So well done. So she was only 14 years old when she got a perfect 10. People see that at home and they think, perfect 10, that
Yeah.
doesn't seem too difficult. How difficult to get a 9?
Well, especially in these days in gym, the value of difficulty score has gone up, and so has the quality. So it's really hard to get a perfect score, let alone like a 9.
Looking at
as well.
that Nadia Comaneci in 1976, and I think we watched it before, Grace, how would she compare today? I think most people were able to execute those sorts of drills that she did.
Yeah, I think today her routines would have been executed differently.
Yes.
So the score would have been, I reckon it would have been a bit lower.
Yeah.
And these days we've got like 14-year-olds probably doing the same routine she did. So the amount of skills at a young age has definitely increased.
Yeah.
So 2020 could be possible, but 2024 might be the one for you two girls, is it?
Yeah.
Only 9 years to go, girls. Keep training.
Do you see yourselves having to leave Adelaide to improve your gymnastics? Would you have to go and live in Canberra? Could you do it all here in Adelaide?
At the moment, it's going pretty well. I think our coach Dimitri is really good. He's had a lot of experience with not only gym but Cirque du Soleil, all the Cirque kind of stuff. But yeah, he's really good at the moment. So I think he's capable of coaching us up to a senior level. But if not, we can also move to Melbourne or at the Canberra at the AAS because they have really good facilities as well.
What about you, Gab? Have you seen the circus?
Yeah.
What do you think when you watch those? Do you watch it like we watch it and go, that's just fantastic? Or are you watching it dissecting the gymnastics side of it?
Yeah, well, yeah, I think it's got a lot of gymnastics in it, and yeah.
Which one did you recently go and see?
Dark Side of Cirque.
Yeah.
that was
Could you
really
see
good.
yourself doing that at the end of gymnastics? Is that
Yeah.
something you think, wow, I wouldn't mind doing
Yeah,
that?
that wouldn't be too bad. I like to do that. Yeah.
Too bad. I wouldn't mind doing it myself. That would probably be all for a pop.
Yeah, look, I'd say I'm pretty much the same too. But for the girls down here locally, I think there's still a fair bit of work to do. Well, they know there's a fair bit of work to do for them. But I think the sport itself is one of those sports, like many that we talk about, that just needs more support. And I think if people realise the sort of work that goes on behind the scenes, that they'd probably be more and more willing to help. But it's just one of those sports that usually flies underneath the radar, unfortunately. But I think even, we talk about their physical demands. There's also a dietary demands as well.
That. Yeah. Do you have to be careful what you eat? Now, there's a lot of information out now about girls and diets and food, and there was, even when I was at the institute talking to the gymnast coaches, they're fairly strict on what you can and can't eat. Do you girls have to be careful with what you eat?
I think now the diet that's recommended, it hasn't been as strict as it was earlier on, but we still have to eat a certain amount of protein and carbohydrates, like, to keep us healthy, but we're not so strict on it anymore. So
every so often when Dad picks up, there's always a treat for the girls, because I'm a big one that, you know, you reward big effort, and they're working so hard, and as I say, 30 hours
pretty quick.
There's a little chocolate bar, or, you know, something. Well, that's it really, probably just a little chocolate bar. But
is there one thing that you were scared of when you first started? Like, I know when I looked at it and the time we tried to walk along the beam, I found that really intimidating at the start. Was there one thing for you, Gabby, when you first started, you thought, oh, I hope I don't have to do that?
Well, I'm not really one to get that scared. I just don't think about it and go for skills. So
really?
Yeah.
Gabby is a demon. I'm serious. I tell you what, if footballers had as much courage as Gabby, they
probably wouldn't be playing. They'd all be injured.
Well, I'm telling you, yeah, because you have to risk it. You know, Grace has hurdles there to get over, because, you know, you can overthink the preparation. And Grace, you work through those things even now, don't you?
yeah, there's always challenges. Every training session there's something that there's a hurdle to get over, but Gabby's very confident and very courageous, I guess. I hold myself back, I think, but I still can improve on that. Yeah. I still have time to improve on that. So, yeah, that's what I'm working most on at the moment.
Do you ever watch YouTube and you see where things go wrong and you think, well, that was really funny, or you go, God, I hope that doesn't ever happen to me?
A bit of both, but mostly, God, I hope that doesn't happen to me.
Yeah. So were you always a no-fearer, Gabby? Were you always, I'll do anything, I'll jump out of a plane without a parachute? Or?
Yep.
So, what made you go to gymnastics?
Well, my mum got me into it because I was like crazy as a child, and I would run around the house, and yeah.
Has it calmed you down, or are you still crazy?
Yeah, I'm usually very tired at night.
Tired.
Yeah.
What about you, Gracie? What made you go to gymnastics?
Well, when the first school new playground opened, I wanted to play on the monkey bars, of course, as every gymnast would. But I fell and broke my arm, and after that, I still kept trying to climb things. So parents put me into gymnastics, and I don't think they ever knew that they were going to be doing that, dropping off and picking up every single day.
9 years down the track. But you know what it is?
Steph and Pop are still...
Yeah, there's nothing more enjoyable than watching your kids develop and get skills that are going to set them up for life. So I say well done to both the girls.
Yeah, well done. Sounds like you've got a terrific work ethic. We'll watch you with interest, and we'll get you back in to see how you're going over time. Certainly, we hope we're not sitting here in 2024, but we hope we're watching the TV and you're at the Olympic Games. Time for us to go. If you've missed any of the show, of course, you can get it on Twitter and on Facebook next week. The big Grenfell Dietrichs is going to join us. Absolute big one. And there's another big name as well, Poppy.
Murray Wiedemann.
Murray Wiedemann will be in. Hope you've enjoyed the show, everybody. Look forward to your company next week.